section of the map that I always think is super fun. You and I have already seen that a lot. That spine in the mountain, in the center there, where we had a lot of like one team on one side, one team on the other, and then when the zone forces you to go to one side, that's when things can get really messy, right? Especially like if you're sort of late and you stay on that area for too long. Much like we used to talk about this last season a lot when we had Granite, who was still stuck like up on that little hill on the military island to the west. Because we're like, hey, this is a good spot. Let's just stick around here. We've had the same situation here, but for several teams now around that general area.
Yep, definitely. And I mean, the fights in general, like you say, is usually pretty exciting to watch with this zone. The thing is, that one thing that I want to see change now, and that I've noted with how the plane was, is the fact that we have a lot of teams down south on the east side looting, which means that last time we had this zone, it was such a cluster where team is right now, where everyone was trying to find a small crevice and just like find their spot, but it was just constant fighting there. Like everyone kept overtaking a new team towards that spot. So I want to see a lot more like north rotations coming in towards Torre, like on that road down. Assume that it has more attachments.
No, same level.
Okay, same level. Okay, so I mean, then it's basically a barrel, right? Or what's the difference like in a barrel and a Scar H then?
Maybe like 20 round mag, but better like longer range.
Yeah, I guess that would be so it would have been a better option than the barrel if it would have come in, I guess.
I gotta say, thank you. Because I just wanted to sort of know your stance on that, but
it's one of those. It's one of those important things to know about your friends, right? Like, what's your stance on the Scar H versus Scar L?
Look, that's like a conversational topic I bring up on dates.
That's the first question.
Yeah, I'm always like, okay, so what? I have two questions. Okay.
Oh
First
well.
and foremost, is he gonna survive this? Haha, that's a joke. No, goodbye, Twite.
Yeah.
No, but it's always like this. I'm like, okay, so what do you want to drink, and what are your thoughts on the Scar H?
Exactly. Well, I gotta say though, like that was kind of sloppy because I was thinking.
I'm very single, Alex, by the way.
I was about to say.
I noticed.
Tell me again why you're single.
Oh,
Lord position, like it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 6 teams at that position, and now, it went northwest, so everyone has to rotate. Have fun, everyone.
Now, who are you right here are going to clash with Reyna?
How do you screw that up? Okay, I'm sorry, but Horseman, you had the jump on him, and he gave him ample time to turn around and bang him in the face.
He's already dead, Lucas. Leave him alone.
I will not stop kicking this dead horse.
So they ENCE has to go full on north if they want to rotate in further, like into the center. Otherwise, they're just gonna go straight into Wear team, and it's a pretty dire situation right now in terms of rotation wise for them, because it's quite hard now with the zone closing in.
You can say the same thing for essentially everyone, because we are still seeing individually, people getting picked off here and there.
Yeah, I mean the whole southeast side here is just packed with 3 teams trying to fight their way in, and we have 3 Danes at the center of it, or at the top of it, like last week, just shooting at people and getting knocked left, right. It's just
hopefully though they can net a few more kills than they did last week, right? Because it was a little bit underwhelming with their position.
Yeah, but does no one have a memory? Ever, like literally, like if you've died there before, it's just like, oh, maybe we should not do this again.
We have this instinct like in us biologically where like, oh, fire's hot, so we're inclined to not put our hand over an open flame, but maybe that's not in effect here.
No, computer games have made people stupid over the years, I guess. I don't know.
It's just this, the instinct of self-preservation.
I'm a boomer. I blame social media.
Maybe you're not wrong, but hey. So right now, a little bit of a weird fight going down. ENCE Skew have this control from the very top of things.
Don't die outside the zone by falling.
Yeah, on the kill feed there, both Wes and Kluba. They had a bit of an accident.
Yeah, they're quite decisive. Yeah, well, they're dedicated to do this. I mean, I don't think they can rotate easily, especially with the team to the east here.
That's what I mean. Yeah, Alex, that's what I want to see them go, like,
right.
I feel as if they're stalling this out way more than they need to.
And I mean, they've waited for too long. Now they have about a minute until the zone is going to start moving on in here. And they gotta start moving at the same time as we're saying. I mean, Wes and Kluba dying in the background, not too great for Granite. But here we go. Jupsik once again taking a lot of damage, but 2 in easy right now. Knocked, and look at that, taking as well. Here we go. That's what we want to see from Reyna.
Yeah, finally. Jumbo will be able to get 1 refrag at least, but he gets cleaned up there towards the end. That's Nuki with the final blow. And ENCE Skew get absolutely swept aside. And in terms of execution, that was just absolutely excellent, but I would have loved to see them do that a little bit faster, because there was a good chance they could have been third party there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's really lucky that the fact that we saw the other team just rotate instead.
Yeah, because I saw them coming in the background there behind that green warehouse, so
yeah,
I was concerned. But yeah, they make it out of there. The execution there was fine. Just, sort of press it a little bit harder next time, I guess, looking for any sort of level of criticism.
Yeah.
But now with the next zone shift, 54 players left live and 15 teams, guys.
Rehab showing the proficiency of having two bikes when rotating. They just went for the action-packed play of just running it down into the crater and just taking the mid-center field. And yeah, I mean they got a really good position because of it. Rift dying though in the open.
Yeah, ENCE, they're shooting here towards Clueless, and I like the fact that they're just shooting out towards these teams and making sure that if you want to even start poking at us, you're going to be heavily damaged doing so. Just stay the hell away, basically.
I mean, the distance
It's
away.
going down on the south or on the southeast side.
Yeah.
Both Eyeballers, Hackapelitas, I see Smiley Face rotating up as well, and then they have 3 Danes as well on top. It's gonna be such a hard time getting into the zone without having 1 or 2 people die.
Yeah, but if it's one team that I think could pull it off, actually, it would be Hackapelitas, right? Because we all know the level that these guys can play at, and obviously with Sillers here, as the newest player to the lineup, I think that he could definitely find some pretty big shots. Trico also coming in with that southern flank, not expecting that one at all. Eyeballers definitely in a bit of a shaky position. Zone is going to force all of them to move, however, so obviously pressure, here for both sides. Trico finding another one. Sillers also knocking down Hani. So yeah, Hackapelitas, they're doing an excellent job really making sure that they know they're here. But have to keep moving because Zone is pushing them, and Desp with a knock over towards Sillers. That would be a really big loss here for them moving on into the late game.
This is an interesting move because, sure, it's just phase 2, but Felix here, if he gets a good spray, this could be terrible for Hackapelitas. They're trying to pick up Sillers, and Felix has to be so careful. I like this rotation from He-Man, but he's just going to kill Hani. And now it's all on Felix. He's so
Chico
low,
goes
though.
down. This actually means it's a 1 versus 1.
Whoa!
He-Man falls as well. Even though they pick up Sillers now, there's a chance, but Eyeballers, they went down. The 3 Danes and Brazilians, like you pointed out, man, from up top.
Yep.
They finish off Sillers, knock him down and kill him. That's Patrick and He-Man and gone. And that's it. That's a complete sweep.
This is just like the previous map, almost. Like, it's so weird how we see these fights through the zone.
I love the fact that RDL effectively predicted the future, though.
Well, I just said what happened last week, and it all happened again. So, I mean, it's just like they never learn. I
mean,
don't know.
you know what they say, history is bound to repeat itself over and over.
Because people never learn. It's just like, don't people read books anymore? I don't get
Part
it.
of the human condition, man.
If you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat
Those
it.
damn youngsters. No, but it's... I mean, and because of that happened, Smiley Face just took their cars and just like, woohoo! I mean, Mage Pain, I think, got knocked out, or like, he had to jump out of his car. Yeah,
they
because it was
they popped him, man. He had no HP.
But still, they made it into a compound in the zone where they have a decent rotation.
It's interesting. I think YMCA right now poking this hard at Reine. We gotta see an engagement here. No one's really going to be third-partying, at least, so that's going to be good for them. But yeah, this could go either way. This is quite scary. Mise falls first of all, so we had to pick him up. There's going to be Nuki doing that. Gonna have a bit of a 2-2 split here. But YMCA, I like the position.
Yeah, they kind of... I would like to see ENCE really go aggressive now. They've got that first knock. Sampula's very close by. If the rest of them just leg it now over towards them, behind this little house, there's a good chance they might be able to grab them. Well, you do get swept up there. It's actually Tiska who gets that final one. Yeah. Reine are going to look to fall back, it seems. Jupsik now actually turns around and knocks down Turbo. So this is turning around very, very quickly. Tabo gets a trade, but Misa once again there to pick things back up. And it looks as if so far it's a 2-for-1 with Nuki safely behind cover. So Gypsy could go for that recovery if he wants to. Yeah, YMCA just in a world of trouble.
Yeah, he has to watch out though for Coyote, but that's it. YMCA is out, and Reina so happy at 9 kills already, and there's so many more to pick for them.
Yeah,
great
good patience
kill
from Anonymous there to go all the way up to actually manage to get them. They can't get up Nuki though because he's outside the zone, and now they have to push in. The 2 people with cars, they left the compound that was a bit more inside. It wasn't the best compound. They get together as a 4. If we hold this this edge, we have a really decent chance of making it into top 3. So
Yeah, but they lose the first player.
Yeah, makes it a 3v3. So now, yeah, it's all about how rare now, how fast they are now to
They're going
capitalize.
for it, man. They're just pushing straight in. I really like this decision making. They're being sharp about it. Mikas will reply, but remember, they still have Tempest to deal with in the backlines. Oh, good shot, though. Anonymous is going to fall, and Sunka really working his little heart out, leaving them with only one man left in Jupsik, who he's been forced down to the ground. He's actually taking shots from Tempest as well. Tempest are going to be the ones to advance over towards this.
And that's the thing. Tempest actually was the ones who got one of those knocks as well. So that was a huge deal here for Reina. They didn't count on the third party, but it's Miramar. You have to count on the third party. Now they're going to come in, and once again, it's the cleanup crew.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great awareness from Tempest, because they realize that compound is getting capitalized on. They're gonna have a fight. They're gonna be damaged. We don't have anywhere else to go. We can't push Clueless in that big compound. They already know that we want to go there. Let's just go around and take that compound from them when that fight is done, and that's what they're doing now. Now they're in position to get that whole west side instead.
The only one keeping them back right now is Jupsik, essentially, which is so inadvertently kind of helping the guys still holding up in that compound. So it is buying them a little bit of time to reevaluate their position, but you know, once Tempest get in there, things could get really messy. Simultaneously, on the opposite side of things, no break here either. 3 Danes, 1 Brazilian. Duking it out right now with the Norwegians, as they have gone for a couple of trades. Smiley Face also moving out. Rehab Bros have started to lose a couple of players as well. Sort of caught in a bit of a crossfire, as they obviously have to rotate out. They actually decided to push over towards Smiley Face's set of buildings that they were held up in, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, Smiley Face right now, they're getting annihilated. We did see Ryan as well get eliminated. So, well, look at that.
Too.
Yeah, exactly.
3 Danes, 1 Brazilian maybe to follow suit here shortly.
So this is looking great for Tempest if they start grabbing those frags, though, because their two biggest competitors are out here.
Yeah, now Tempest will be the next ones to move on in. Great spray here. Pixel has just been absolutely devastating throughout the first few weeks. And so far, he's generally been staying fairly consistent. Nate goes in. Doesn't look as if it is going to connect, so still a little bit of space here for Ware team to work with, but they have to move quickly. Good Molotov, actually. He's going to knock down Pixel. I think it might be enough to take him down a little bit of a peg. Clip with another one. Simultaneously, Pixel finally does burn out, so that is a kill confirmed. -1 player there for Tempest, and they also get Poro back up. So Ware team will make this recovery. They have 5 kills in total. Smiley Face also dying in the backlines, joined by Granite Gaming. So not many teams left now, guys. Down to 6 and 19 players left alive.
Yeah, it felt like they were really passive there. I'm not sure why. They went into 2-2 split and Wookie.
However, you know, we've sort of been giving ENCE a bit of a hard time, but for one thing to give them, obviously, they've been quite consistent. I mean, we're looking at the 2 games already played. Third place finish, 3 kills. Second place finish, 6 kills.
Yeah.
Here, very good chance to get into the top 5.
Yeah. Already got the 3 kills, and they're doing fine against Clueless. The only problem right now is 3 Danes, 1 Brazilian.
I mean, they're still staying.
Until they find some cover, and ENCE were shooting Clueless, so if Clueless realizes this as well, it could become a bit of crossfire. But it looks like ENCE is going to be fine for now, at least. Monster right now keeping Rehab Bros away.
I have no idea who's calling for Clueless, but yeah, they are really clueless right now. That was like the worst rotation I've seen ever. Like, what are they? Like, they had the compound.
Oh, they ran into Tempest?
They just rotated straight into 2 teams. They've heard them fight for like the whole
time of day. And with the zone shifting in, yeah, they are in play still. But it means they are going to have to be forced to go a little bit closer. And the big engagement now coming up is going to be this one here between Ware team and Tempest. We've already been duking it out since earlier. And Poro is going to be the one to open things up. 7 kills in total. He doesn't give a damn.
Welcome to Monster Trucks. Yeah. He's just going to go straight around here and look for those frags. I love it.
Alex, what I like so much about this, sure, he just goes in there and heals. But his presence in that general area, just so much pressure here for Tempest to deal with. They haven't even jumped on someone to try to pick him back up.
And they can't even retreat because ENCE is right behind them as well. They're just stuck here. They have to clean up Ware team, otherwise they're dead.
Yeah, I mean,
he tagged him in the head.
Great spray. I mean, I thought we were gonna say that Sunka lives up to his name as Gravedigger, but just to keep the monster truck meme going.
My, okay. That's a really, really terrible thing to happen there. He gets knocked by that zone. His other 2 teammates, they are also going to be forced now to run right across parallel with it, as Tempest just tried to do what they can to stall them out. 2 players left, Clib and Wookie Bookie. Yeah, Wookie Bookie's going to solve that one on his own. Squeak actually does turn in to help a little bit there from ENCE, but that means they go out. And Ware team, 5th place finish.
Interesting here for 3 Danes, 1 Brazilian, that they have the central position, but everyone will be colliding into them. So right now they have to hold 3 different angles at the same time. They're going to be quite spread out. I mean, look at Rehab Bros in the south. On the west, you have Tempest. In the north, you have ENCE. And I think all these teams want to get more centralized as the next phase starts to begin.
But I think the most interesting thing that we're seeing right now, so Rehab Bros haven't really gone up big in any of the games so far for the first few weeks. But Tempest still at only 2 players are a very real threat.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have both ENCE and 3 Days there at full squad, that is what keeps things very interesting. Now, as I say, that does actually, that dramatically does change there with Rustamar getting a knock and kill confirm. Now a couple of grenades coming on over. But it's still, I would say between the 3 teams we see at the top there of the kill tracker, still actually very even, and it is still in the cards that Tempest might be able to close this game.
Yeah, because there's such an open field towards Tempest, nobody can actually push them. They can just sit there in the crevice and wait for everyone else to having to fight. But yeah, if Skugi can actually manage to make that nade, it's gonna be big.
Oh, it's
throw.
slightly short.
Yeah, they're just gonna, they're not even gonna peek. They just want to wait. Like, they're gonna check. I mean, if you see the zone, they can just about go in. And I mean, since 3 Danes, 1 Brazilian is gonna fight both with Rehab Bros and with ENCE, they just yeah, like waiting for that time, just that small peak.
And that might be all it takes. Tisku's doing a good job here in applying some counter pressure to keep their heads down. But 3 Days, 1 Brazilian, you can see they want to push right now, but Rehab Bros actually chiming in and having a pretty big level of impact in terms of the final engagements here potentially. 3 Days, 1 Brazilian down to only 1 man now with 7 kills to their name, which is a very good kill score. But if he can come in here on the big flank, that could be a big problem. Actually does decide to engage over towards Tempest instead. Needs to be so careful to keep his head down, but Rustamar finally getting Wookie down. I think this is kind of going to be the nail in the coffin here for Tempest.
I think ENCE is doing amazingly here. They're playing this perfectly. Skuki goes down though, but Klib is all alone right now, and this is 3 people from ENCE just going straight onto him. Klib, there's no chance. Klib almost gets Tiksu, but that's it. He's out, and only 3 teams remaining. But remember that Rehab Bros are almost dead, and Rusk is all alone there. He's out, and now it's only 2 members left for Rehab Bros after he gets picked up.
Yeah, they need to rest him fast and heal up, but it's still gonna be 2v. What is it, 2v3? And yeah, I mean, to be fair, ENCE hasn't been doing that great in.
And once you're forced out off of this ridge line, Rehab Bros, they're not going to have as much cover to work with. You can see that ENCE just simply has a lot more space to play with.
Yeah, they need to be so active here. They need to find a knock before they go over this ridge line, because I don't even think they heard Rustamar, so they don't even know him, so that he's there. So I mean, as soon as they go over, he's gonna get at least 1, and that's gonna be it basically. So they need to start like like they're doing now, just smoke everything, so they have a lot of like things to work with. But it's,
Rustamar. That could be terrible timing as they were picking out.
This Molotov might actually be really dirty.
Yeah, he gets a lot of damage done. They know he's there now, but those nades are not hitting, and he has a nade himself. That is a lot of damage, and already a lot of trouble for Rehab Bros. Only 1 member left. I think it's Mika's, and that's it. It's going to be ENCE winning this one, and this is the 3rd game in a row they end up in the top 3.
Yeah, with 11 kills this time. So I mean, finally they managed to